Maddie Wants New Clothes. Chapter 6. The Best Plan. To carry out Clementine's plan, I needed allies once again. I called my brothers into my room. My parents were listening to an opera. That kind of music goes on and on, so they would leave us alone for a while. I shut the door and took the plunge. Gran must not get married. It would be a disaster for her. And for you, exclaimed Alexander. You're her pet. It doesn't make any difference to us. We'd have a different babysitter, said Julian. A stranger, someone mean, who wouldn't let us watch Tintin movies 3 times in a row. I don't want a new babysitter. Billions of blistering blue barnacles. It's true we have it good with Gran, Alexander reflected. But how can we keep her from getting married? We have to cast a spell on the toad so he'll forget about Gran and forget about getting married. A spell to make all that disappear from his mind. You'd have to be a magician to do that, Alexander pointed out. Then we'll become magicians, I announced mysteriously. Alexander and Julian were spellbound. Perfect. First, we need a doll made of cloth. This one will do. I picked up Julian's Professor Calculus doll. Not Professor Calculus, Julian protested. I don't want anyone to hurt him. It's just a doll, idiot. Alexander laughed. I looked daggers at him. If we take off the clothes, it won't be Professor Calculus anymore, right? So Julian took off the professor's clothes and I laid the doll on the bed. We must all think together as hard as we can that this doll is Wilbur Goad. I will cast a spell by sticking pins in the doll. You repeat after me. Ahem, ahem. What's that supposed to mean? Asked Alexander. Nothing. It's just a way of concentrating to increase her power. You have to believe. Now, be quiet. I'm about to begin. I picked up a pin and stuck it in the doll's left ear. Wilbur Goad, may the memory of Gran leave your mind. Ahem, ahem. Ahem, ahem. My brothers repeated after me. I did the same with the right ear, then the doll's legs and stomach. I put several pins in the stomach, and last I stuck a pin in the doll's head. Wilbur Goad, may the idea of marriage leave your mind forever. Ahem, ahem. Ahem, ahem, chanted my brothers. The ceremony was over, but the silence hung heavy around us. Finally, it was broken by Julian's anxious voice. He's not going to die. Is he, Maddie? You didn't stick a pin in his heart, did you? No. Look. I realized then that the doll looked like a pincushion, and I figured the heart must have at least 1 pin in it. But I tried to reassure Julian. We didn't wish that Wilbur Goad would die. We only wished that he would forget. You can rest easy. I opened the door to my room. The opera was about over. Time to get in bed quickly before parents came upstairs. Alexander and Julian scurried off. Whew! I was glad that was over. I was exhausted. It's very tiring. Cast, spell, toad. Breakfast next morning was calm and peaceful, probably because it was Saturday, but it felt strange, like the calm before a storm. I wasn't hungry, even though I hadn't eaten since... Ding dong, ding dong. Who can that be? Muttered my dad. I'll get it. I ran to the vestibule, only too glad to escape from the atmosphere in the kitchen. I opened the door, and there was Gran. I have some bad news, she told me. I followed her into the kitchen. She asked my mother for a cup of coffee, and then she spoke very softly.
This morning, I got a call from the home where Wilbur lives. He died last night. I'm so very sorry, my father stammered. Julian panicked totally. It's because of the mean babysitter. We didn't want her. So we took Professor Calculus and we undressed Wilbur Gold and we stuck pins in him. To cast a spell on him. But not a death spell. And please don't get mad at us.
Under the circumstances, I thought Julian defended us very well. I had nothing to add because all of a sudden I felt very faint.
Maddie, are you better now?
Gran was with me in my room. She must be really angry with me.
You must have had quite a shock, my pet. I wanted you to know it's all right. It was very mean to wish bad things for Wilbur, but you did not kill him. He was already very ill. It was just an unfortunate coincidence.
Gran wasn't angry. I could tell her everything. I cast a spell on Wilbur Goad so that he would forget all about you, Gran. So you would go back to your own self. You had changed so much because of him.
Not really, Maddie. The way I dress, and dinner time, and deciding to get married, those were all Wilbur's ideas, it's true. But he knew he was dying. He was so alone. I went along with his ideas to make him happy. I believe he died a happy man.
Oh, that's beautiful, Gran. But I'm happy that you didn't really change, especially since I stopped. It wasn't really the right time to talk about my own problems.
What is it, honey?
Since she seemed interested, I told Gran about my wardrobe problems. And I haven't eaten anything for 2 days, so it fit into my old clothes.
That's crazy.
Gran was very cross.
That's why you fainted, and you were mad at me for changing in order to please Wilbur.
Her tone softened.
What you did was worse, Maddie. You would do anything to be trendy. You were willing to change not just your clothes, but your body.
Especially my bum. Gran thought that was very funny.
Did you think you could shrink your bum by magic? In 2 days? Anyway, no one is perfect, you know. You can't make yourself sick over tiny imperfections.
But I still want to wear the latest clothes.
Yes, it's fun to do that. And sometimes it seems very important, like when you're going to school on Monday morning. So I think we need to go on a shopping trip.
You and me, Gran? Would you buy me? But are you sure you want to go shopping today?
Yes, it will help me forget my sorrow. But first, you have to eat. And not chips. Come on, out of bed.
I could have jumped for joy. Suddenly, I was starving. When I think of how much time I had wasted with my crazy plans, I was disgusted with myself. No more magic tricks. From now on, the best plan for me is to talk it over with Gran.